You're looking live at Ben Rubier, attackman for the Virginia Cavaliers, one of the top players in the country, hoping to lead his Cavaliers to a second straight national championship. In fact, Virginia is in position to make it 3 titles in 5 years, but they have to take a first step today against the Fighting Blue Hens of the University of Delaware. That is the bottom game on the brackets that you see, the lower half of the brackets. Delaware and Virginia. Virginia is seeded number 2. And the winner of this game will play tonight's winner between Maryland and the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. In the other half of this bracket, Johns Hopkins and Georgetown, each 1 goal overtime winners, so they will meet next week. And here is the other half of the bracket. Duke, an easy winner over Providence. They await the winner of Navy, North Carolina. And earlier today, Albany defeating Loyola of Maryland, while Cornell was an easy winner over Towson. So those two will match up next week. Dave Cohen along with Mark Dixon. We welcome you to Charlottesville, Virginia, where it is sunny, it is dry, and Mark, there is no threat of lightning. Everywhere you went yesterday, lightning and thunder followed and torrential rains, but we don't have any of those problems today.
No, I'm glad I was able to bring some good weather to Charlottesville. We've got a great game on tap and eager to get this one underway.
Let's take a look at the season to date for the Fighting Blue Hens of Delaware, making their 4th all-time NCAA appearance.
Yeah, Delaware was the preseason favorite to win the Colonial Athletic Association championship. They stumbled during the regular season, losing to Drexel and Towson. Were able to avenge both of those losses in the conference tournament as the number 3 seed, and they win the automatic qualifier to the NCAA. They've averaged about 12 goals a game, and they've got 5 players, first team Colonial Athletic Association, first team all-conference selections. They're making their 4th appearance in the NCAA tournament. They're 1-3. They lost to Navy in 2005. They lost to Virginia in 1999. So a little bit of a rematch here just a few years later.
In fact, that was the very last time these two schools met. Virginia and Delaware was way back in 1999. Now let's turn our attention to Virginia. The Cavaliers went through last season in undefeated fashion, winning the national championship, and they will not have the opportunity to go through an undefeated season this year because they've lost 3 times, but they're still in the running to repeat as national champs.
Yeah, bumpy start, lost to Drexel to start their year, but then they rattled off 10 straight wins before they've lost to Duke twice. So the question is, can anybody but Duke in the country beat Virginia? We'll find out if Delaware can today. They had a 10-game win streak after that loss to Drexel. And, of course, we've already talked about Ben Rubier leading the way, 68 points, a Tuaraton finalist, one of the best players in the nation.
And Virginia has been in the NCAA tournament now 30 times, and they've won it 4 times, 4 national championships, of course, last year going undefeated. And in the 36-year history of this tournament, 12 teams have gone through undefeated, Virginia the latest.
Yeah, and Virginia won a national title in 2003. We're in the Final Four in 2005. Within a whisker of the final, Johns Hopkins beat them in overtime to advance to the national championship game. And, of course, the undefeated run a year ago. They lost a lot of senior leadership off of that team, but they have a ton of talent coming back. But they're much younger this year in 2007, so it'll be interesting to see how they enter their first game in the postseason with that quote-unquote lack of experience.
And when we come back to this opening round game in the NCAA Lacrosse Championships, Mark will touch on his keys to the game for both Virginia and Delaware. An NCAA lacrosse game with a winner to face the winner of Maryland and UMBC coming up tonight. Dave Cohen, Mark Dixon. And Mark, let's talk specifically about the keys for each team in this contest.
When you talked about Delaware, Dave, of course it starts at the face-off square with Alex Smith, but it also isn't just about Alex, it's about his wing play as well. And the team defense will need to be very good today for Delaware against this very potent Virginia offense. When you talk about the Cavaliers and the Virginia, what they need to do in order to be successful here today, they have to dictate the tempo. They want a fast-paced game. Delaware wants to play 6-on-6. Virginia is very opportunistic, very good in transition. They're going to want to push the tempo and focus. They lost to Drexel, first game of the season. They've had some real close calls against some teams like Binghamton and Dartmouth as the season has worn on. Also, Dom Starsha commented that the ball just doesn't jump in the goal the way that it has in years past. So they're really going to have to take their time in that transition game, make smart decisions, and make key plays in order to be successful against this Delaware team looking to knock them off.
Now, Virginia lost some of their firepower from a year ago. They lost Matt Ward, who was the player of the year in college lacrosse. The man we were looking at a few seconds ago, Ben Rubier, is a candidate to replace him as the Tuaraton Trophy winner. In any event, he has a pretty good supporting cast around him.
Absolutely. Dan Danny Gladding's an excellent player. Ricky Smith on a defensive end. Drew Thompson in the midfield is really an unsung hero. But when you talk about losing Matt Ward, Matt Pasquet, Mike Culver from the defense, Kyle Dixon, I mean, Ward, Dixon, and Culver were 3 national players of the year at their respective positions. So that's a ton to lose. And when you look at the Delaware team, this team is playing a high on emotion right now. They're really on a roll. They have a lot of momentum. But with Virginia, even being as young as they are, they still have a lot of playoff experience. So how will that playoff experience pay off against a team that's very inexperienced in the Delaware Blue Hens, playing with a lot of emotion right now?
Confidence is always key in any sport, but especially in lacrosse. If a goalie can make some key saves early, that will buoy his confidence.
Absolutely, and the goalies are going to play huge here today.
So it'll be Virginia and Delaware coming up next, right here on ESPNU. Already, Albany and Cornell have advanced in the other brackets. And hi again, everybody. I'm Dave Cohen along with Mark Dixon. And first things first, happy Mother's Day to all the moms who've raised these great lacrosse players, took them to all those Little League games and supported them throughout their college careers. Now to the game at hand, Mark. Virginia trying to repeat as national champs, trying to make it 3 titles in 5 years. Delaware's only in the tournament for the 4th time. They are definitely the underdogs. What do the fighting Blue Hens have to do to make this competitive?
Whenever you play Virginia, you have to talk about tempo, because Virginia likes to run and gun. In order for Delaware to be successful today, they'll have to control the tempo and the face-off X to secure those possessions.
Well, lacrosse is the ultimate team game, but always opportunities for individuals to stand out. Let's take a look at the Dick's Sporting Goods key players of this contest.
When we talk about face-offs, and for Delaware, Alex Smith is the man at the square. Midfield-wise, Jordan Hall is the leading scorer, and Rob Smith anchors a defense that will have its hands full with the powerful tandem for Virginia of Ben Rubior and Danny Gladding. And between the pipes for the Cavaliers is Kip Turner, the seasoned senior, leading that defense.
Ben Rubior needs 2 goals for 50 this season and 100 in his career.
A Tewaaraton finalist, the slick left-handed attackman from Towson, Maryland, Loyola High School, has had a 7-goal game this year against Towson. He scored 5 twice, including 1 against Maryland in a key ACC win. Ben Rubior, an outstanding attackman, one of the best in the country.
In this game of lacrosse, face-offs are key, and we've got the best face-off man this year, maybe of all time in the NCAA, Alex Smith of Delaware.
Alex Smith, the senior out of Lutherville, Maryland, boys Latin high school, winning 74% of his draws. The Colonial Athletic Association Player of the Year. That's saying a lot for a face-off man. That gives you an idea of how special he is to this Delaware team.
And the last line of defense for any team in lacrosse is the goalie. And the goalie, Kip Turner for Virginia, has never lost a game here at Klockner Field. We're back with lacrosse on ESPNU after this. See, in number 11, well, number 1 there is the goalie, Tommy Scher for Delaware. His counterpart is Kip Turner, number 15. He was in the nets for the national championship in the undefeated season a year ago. And here is the all-important face-off. Adam Fasnacht on the right in the white, and there is Alex Smith. We're underway, and the first face-off of the game still being contested, and it's going to go to Delaware.
What you'll notice about Delaware is that they face off with 2 shorties on the wing.
And here's a shot and a save immediately by Scher off the shot by Alex Smith.
Great save by Turner, Dave. If that one could have gone, that would have been a huge lift for Delaware, but nice start for the senior netminder.
Now here is Virginia in transition. Game slowing down a little bit as Virginia will work from behind on their first offensive foray of the afternoon. This is Dan Gladding, number 9, being checked by Crowther-Washburn, Evan Crowther-Washburn. Now here is Ben Rubior. Easy to spot with the black brace on his right leg.
Hurt that knee against Duke in the matchup in the regular season, was hobbled somewhat, but is back almost to full strength.
He sends it up top and out to the near side. They'll work it from here and again out front. No shot yet. Here's a shot and a score. Immediately by number 12, Drew Thompson. And here's a guy who had only 1 goal in his last 2 games. And so he gets off the schneid early.
We mentioned Thompson at the beginning of the broadcast. He's a senior, one of the captains for Virginia, and he's definitely an unsung hero. Just a simple exchange back up top, and he goes man-to-man against the long pole for Delaware, beats him by about 1.5 steps. Just a great bull dodge to his strength, his right hand, and high-to-high beats Tommy Scher, far post. Thompson, his 9th goal of the season, his first this afternoon.
Drew Thompson, a senior from Northport, Long Island. And following the goal, we had one of the mandatory stick checks performed by our officials here. And we're out for the second face-off again. On the left, Alex Smith. And a violation. And the ball will go over to Virginia.
Guarantee that Dom Starsha in his pregame meeting with the officials said, watch number 11, Alex Smith for Delaware, jumping early. That time it looks like they got him.
Ryan Calabrese, number 38, has come on defensively for Delaware. Again, Virginia works from behind. This is number 19, Garrett Billings. He sends it outside to Steve Giannone. Giannone beats his man, has room with the left hand. And let's see if that ball stays in bounds. It does. Virginia maintains possession. And shoved out of bounds legally, so the ball goes over to Delaware.
Terrific slide as we see Bob Schillinglaw looking on. 262 career wins as he's fourth among active Division I coaches. His 29th year at the University of Delaware, and he has to enjoy that defense, Dave. Nice poke check to disrupt the pass, and then a nice physical check using the end line as your friend and pushing Gladding out of bounds. Delaware now with an offensive push.
And Schillinglaw, the dean of all the coaches in this NCAA tournament, we have an offsides call against Delaware.
And here we take a look at Dom Starsha, winner of multiple national championships here at the University of Virginia, came over from Brown in 1993 to take over the reins here in Charlottesville. One of the most respected coaches in all of the game.
There's the dodge attempt, a shot and a score. A second goal by Danny Gladding, who is all ACC, and he has come out on fire.
Well, you can't give Virginia opportunities off of mental mistakes, and that's exactly what Delaware did. They went off sides, possession back over to Virginia, and Danny Gladding just uses his frame, all 6'2" of them, to come around the goal, uses his strength just to plant his feet just ever so much to get leverage on the shot, and a beautiful move at X point behind, and just rockets that thing past Tommy Scher, falling away from the goal, still got that mustard on it, shows you the strength of Gladding.
Face off won by Smith, he feeds in close. And no shot immediately taken by Delaware. Zuderhavens has it now. Adam Zuderhavens, former junior college player at Herkimer out of Corning, New York, still in possession of the ball. He comes in close and he misses at point-blank range.
That's very indicative of the Delaware attack as a beautiful ride produces a loose ball. These guys are dodge first, shoot second, and then feed third. Not a lot of Delaware goals are assisted.
Now we get a push against Delaware, so the ball will go over to Virginia. Cavaliers out to a 2-0 lead here in the opening 2.5 minutes of play.
If you're Delaware, you've got to step up and make a play here on the ride, or else defensively get a stop and get that ball back in the stick of your offense. Try to break the ice here and get off the schneid as Virginia's up 2-0.
Here's Rubier. He got the feed from Will Barrow. On the near side now, it will be Billings from British Columbia. Out he goes to Thompson. Has the ball poke checked away, but he regains possession. A bounce shot deflected by the goalie Scher. It'll roll out of bounds, and possession will remain in the hands of Virginia.
Nice save by Scher as he fights off the shot from Jack Riley as we get a good look at Garrett Billings there. Really the forgotten man of this tremendous duo of Gladding and Rubier. And honestly, if it weren't for Matt Danowski and Zach Greer about 3.5 hours from here down in Durham, I think all the press clippings would be about Rubier and Gladding, this excellent tandem that resides here in Charlottesville.
Carroll to Rubier. Now they work it on the near side here to Billings from British Columbia. A couple of British Columbia players in this game. Here on the move and slipping down is Drew Thompson, and he is slow to get to his feet. Thompson is down and hurt as Delaware comes in transition.
Nice job by Virginia, though, even with Townsend down.
Delaware gets their first score of the game.
What a rocket shot by Tim Fuchs. Excuse me, number 38 for Delaware. That's Brian Calabrese, one of the captains of the Blue Hen defense. And he's going to get a stick check. It's unusual to check a defenseman's stick as the goal scorer, but just a rocket shot in transition. Virginia did a good job of getting back, but with Thompson on the ground, it was a 6-on-5, and Calabrese just steps in and puts a bullet past Kip Turner, high to high, non-stick side, stings the upper 90 of that neck, and Calabrese, his second goal of the season. That is huge as Delaware gets on the board.
He is out of the high school lacrosse powerhouse West Genesee suburb of Syracuse. Brian Calabrese, no relation to Sean Calabrese, who also plays for Delaware. It is a 2-1 game.
Here we see the battle at the face-off square. Alex Smith does a great job of just holding it up. And we talked about the wing play, and that's an excellent ground ball by Drew Turner coming up and picking it up after Smith was able to keep Fosnock at bay and get possession for the Blue Hens.
Now Vince Giordano behind to Zuder Havens. Substitutes coming on for Delaware.
One thing about Delaware too, Dave, they have a tremendous amount of left-handed offensive players. We talk about Rubio and his left-handed prowess, but Delaware has about 6 or 7 guys who can score, and they're all left-handed.
Matt Myone's on the move now, checked out of the play by Barrow, and Zuder Haven operates from behind. Going against Smith. Double team, still holding. Up top, off the stick of Kaminsky, and out of bounds, so the turnover, and Virginia gets it.
Tough break for Delaware, the second midfield unit on the field for the Blue Hens. They'll run 3, and just a simple exchange pass up at the top of the box goes awry. Possession over to Virginia. Delaware right now, they've had 2 mental mistakes, and 1 cost them earlier a few minutes ago. We'll see if they can thwart this attempt by Virginia.
The goalie, Kip Turner, comes out about 30 yards to help out on the clear. Now they get it into the box and back it out of the box. Steve Giannone, number 5, giving it off. They'll go behind the Rubier right now. Rubier played by the defender there for Delaware.
That's Rob Smith. First team all Colonial Athletic Association pick, and we're going to have a warding off call against Ben Rubier. So possession will go over to the Delaware Blue Hens.
Scher is going to put it in play, and he goes to Rob Smith.
There we see the turnovers, 3 apiece for Delaware and Virginia.
Coming back to play it now is Dan Deckelbaum, the midfielder, splits the defense and gives it back to the big stick. Now they get the cutter, Jordan Hall, in close. That would have been a catch and shoot opportunity. Delaware doing a good job in pursuit of these ground balls. That was Curtis Dixon who kept it alive. Here's Delaware's opportunity. Zuder Havens, he backs it off.
I'm really impressed with Delaware and their riding right now.
Jordan Hall, number 20, another of the British Columbia players. And Delaware's going to keep it.
I think that ball had a lot of muster on it. Goes over the cage. Zuder Havens could have been well served to maybe take a step above the plane of goal line extended to try to increase his angle. But Zuder Havens, he is one of those 5 players for the Blue Hens, all Colonial Athletic Association, teammates with Brett Queener, the winning goaltender for Albany in the game that was on ESPNU that saw Albany knock off Loyola and punch their ticket to Princeton next weekend in a quarterfinal matchup against Cornell.
J.J. Moran exchanging with Dan Deckelbaum. This is Moran, starts his dodge, goes to the right hand. Now they'll work it from behind. Again, it goes up top. Deckelbaum, played by Barrow. Stays alive and in possession. They'll back it out and they'll do it again.
Deckelbaum, a huge midfielder, 6 foot, 205 pounds, reminiscent of John Reese.
Got the step there on Barrow. Here's a low to high shot off of Jordan Hall's stick and backed up nicely. Dixon back there for Delaware. The Blue Hens playing with confidence, looking to tie, and they do. Adam Zuder Havens out of Corning, New York, is tied the game at the 8:35 mark.
Zuder Havens, the junior college All-American at Herkimer a couple of years back, won a national title for that program. His 33rd goal of the season. Just a great cut across the face of the defense, and he takes the feed from Giordano, feels the pressure. The defender for Virginia tried to go over the head. Zuder Havens sensed that pressure, tucks his stick, and just puts a rocket shot right past Kip Turner. Delaware right now, after some jitters early on, is really starting to get into this game.
Again, it'll be Fosnock on the right, Alex Smith on the left, and the top faceoff man in the country wins it. He has it checked out of his stick, but it's recovered by Manny. He goes down, loses the ball, ground ball, and let's see who's got it. Delaware really tenacious on these ground balls. And for the moment, it's Drew Thompson, number 12, in possession.
And that last goal, as we see it jump out of the box.
Beautiful jump.
Great job by Calabrese, who's all over the place in the early going.
He surprised Rubier on that one. But now Delaware playing with confidence. You can see it in their movement.
A lot of pep in their step, a lot of energy, and there's Curtis Dixon. Credit him with that last goal, with that great ride and getting the ground ball back to extend the possession for his team and give Zuder Havens and Giordano that opportunity to scorch the twine like they did.
Martin Cahill now on. Delaware using lots of players, keeping their legs fresh. Here's Kaminsky. Delaware will play deliberate at times and then speed it up, changing tempos.
It's about 70, 73 degrees here at Klockner with a strong wind, strong breeze, so it's not incredibly warm here.
There's the other Calabrese, Sean, no relation. Again, back behind Giordano. Tough angle, it's in! Tough angle shot, and he surprises Kip Turner.
That's the perfect adjective to describe this goal, Dave. Surprised, as it looked like Giordano was looking to feed. Here we see the exchange pass to point behind. Giordano head up the whole time. Clausen pretty good defense. And Giordano just steps away from the pressure. Here you'll see it. He'll step away right there to establish just enough space between he and Clausen to put a nice bounce shot past Kip Turner. And the All-American from Severn normally has those saves. I don't think he's yet to come up with one in the early going here as Delaware takes the lead 3-2.
Alex Smith did what he could after that ball. Looked like it was going to Virginia. He committed a violation, so the Cavaliers get it. Bauer has it at the midfield line. 3-2 Delaware. They've scored 3 unanswered goals. Bauer now sends over to Jack Riley.
And it's interesting, we talked about tempo. Delaware has come out and has really attacked this Virginia defense. They have not been bashful in any way, shape, or form.
Gladding goes to the left hand. He feeds in close. Tie game. Beautiful job by Riley as he caught it, turned around, and he beat the goalie, Tommy Scher. We have a 3-3 game.
Nice job by Gladding, taking advantage of the mismatch here. As we'll see in the replay, he gets matched up on a short stick defensive midfielder for the Blue Hens. Not bad defense, turns him back, but because Gladding's such a deft dodger, everybody on the crease was looking to slide, and they didn't pay attention to Jack Riley sipping behind the Blue Hen defense. Beautiful catch and turn, nice shot. Jack Riley, his 15th of the season off of the feed from Danny Gladding.
Well, Delaware came into this game averaging 12 goals a game. Virginia just under that. And we've had a very offensive game here in ideal conditions.
There we see Smith, he jumps again. So possession back over to Virginia. And Drew Thompson is checked back into the contest, so he is okay after that injury a few minutes ago.
We haven't seen Rubier take too many shots yet. Right now it's Gladding feeding Thompson. He slipped down earlier. That led to a fast break, a transition goal for Delaware. It looked like he was hurt momentarily. Here's Carroll outside on the move. Brian Carroll. He's got a brother Kevin on the team. Sends it back.
If you're Delaware, you want to make Virginia work for some shots. They really haven't had any extended defensive stands. All of Virginia goals have come pretty quickly after they've gotten possession, but nice defense behind. We're going to have a flag down.
Drew Turner on Thompson. They exchange pleasantries. The flag flies. What's it all about?
It looks like Hans Wittelsberger, referee Hans Wittelsberger, is going to get a slash call against number 33, Drew Turner. Here we see the check. That's clean. Right there is the slash across the chest of Drew Thompson. So Turner will spend up to 1 minute in the sin bin for that slashing penalty. The first check was clean that dislodged the ball, Dave, but anytime you check a man across the chest like that without hitting stick or his gloved hand, you're going to spend a minute in the box, and Hans Wittelsberger right on top of that call.
So we get our first look at the extra man opportunity. The offense of Virginia, they're looking to take the lead here. Thompson to Carroll. And now briefly on the stick of Rubier. Sort of been a decoy in the early going. Let's see if they set him up here in this extra man opportunity. Billings. And now it's Carroll. And here is Rubier. I don't know if he's had a shot yet.
A ton of motion here for Virginia's extra man, a 3-2-1 into a 2-3-1 with a very high and active crease.
Now they go the other way, and a beautiful save by Tommy Scher. They reversed it and Scher played it.
Scher, the junior out of Mount St. Joseph High School in Baltimore, read that one all the way. Popcorn, as he was able to stop it, pop it to himself and get the ball out, but now Virginia has to get it into the box.
They toss the ball high in the air, and it's taken away by Virginia, and they pop it in the air as well. And now here comes Smith back for Virginia. Rick Smith feeds it down. They'll go behind with the ball in the stick of Gladding. Now Rubior. He feeds it up top. Shot. Save again by Scher. And Crowther Washburn has it.
Last 3 shots for Virginia have been saved by Scher. I think that first stop that he was able to fight off has really done wonders for his confidence.
Good job by Virginia as they deflected the clear. Here's the feed to Rubior, and his shot is wide.
Taking a page out of the Delaware attack book, tenacious ride by Virginia, gets possession back after the Scher save.
Ball back in play quickly. Gladding slips down, played by Crowther Washburn. He goes in and he scores. What a move by Gladding. His second goal of the game, and Virginia's back on top.
Danny Gladding with 3 points so far in the game on 2 goals and an assist, and this is what he excels at. He likes getting his man at point behind that X position and just making juke moves back and forth before deciding to come with that left hand, and he does a great job of feeling the pressure on his backside, extends his stick, and just rolls it underneath of Tommy Scher. 2 goals today so far for Danny Gladding.
What a game of spurts. Virginia got the first 2. Delaware the next 3. Virginia's answered back with 2. And Deckelbaum controls the faceoff for Delaware. Now the Blue Hens look to tie it up.
So much these days, lacrosse fans complain about the lack of speed and scoring and offensive aggressiveness. Those people who are complaining, I bet, are not saying a word right now. The first 11 minutes of this contest has been absolutely outstanding.
Dixon to Deckelbaum, now J.J. Moran. Doesn't have an angle for a shot. He'll send it to Giannone. Giordano, that is. Now back it goes to Moran. He feeds, and Dixon looking for his shot. It was a weak attempt and played easily by Turner. He outlets it in the middle now to Steve Giannone. Giannone.
Not a good decision by Dixon that time. Got into the heart of the defense of Virginia. You got to make a decision, feed or shoot. He did neither, and Virginia was able to dislodge that ball.
Rubior has been very patient. Gladding with 2 goals, has it now. Sends back behind. This is Billings. And now here's Rubior. Will he make a move? He'll try it. Will he get a shot? It's going to be doubled, but he gets rid of it first. Good defense being played out there by Delaware. And they're going to come away with the ground ball, and we get a procedure call. It'll give it to Delaware.
Looks like it's going to be playing with the free hand off the stick against George Hughley of the Virginia Cavaliers. A little bit of hiccup right there as he could not corral that ground ball. And the great defense of J.J. Moran able to keep it hot, and he wins possession off the procedure.
Giordano with it now as they go behind, and they mishandle the ball on the back line, and Virginia's going to get it.
Well, when you go up and down like this, the way these 2 teams have been going, it opens you up for mistakes, and it also can tire you out. I think we're seeing that.
Ricky Smith, the big stick, fake going behind his back. Now he'll look to dump it off and get back.
Smith, one of the best defensemen in the country, one of the best long poles at getting the ball up in transition. He has 3 assists on the year, and he can be a real catalyst for this Virginia fast break offense.
Billings sends it outside. George Hughley on now. Hughley is going to be joined by Steve Giannone, who comes back on. Giannone starts his drive. Giannone, played by Manny, number 13.
Virginia real spread here, a 2-2-2 offense.
Billings comes in close. The ricochet is pulled down. But we have a crease violation, and Delaware is going to get it. Or do we?
Garrett Billings came inside and was drilled after that shot opportunity. Here we're going to see it. Billings gets inside, and then right there is the push. That could have even been called a cross check as Drew Turner came in and laid the boom on Garrett Billings.
Now Billings sending it behind to Gladding. He's already got 2 goals. Played by J.J. Moran. The stick flies out of there. The ball goes in the air, and it's mishandled. Taken down by Giannone. Giannone feeds it. Spinning move being made here by Gavin Gill, extra attacker in the game. Reserve attacker, that is. Manny takes it down now for Delaware. A little wild happenings there.
Well, I tell you, not only was the stick helicoptered out of the hands of Danny Gladding, but it was more like a stealth bomber. That thing was so high up in the air here at Klockner Stadium, and a good job by Delaware to get that ground ball.
Turner had it momentarily. Now the Blue Hens work from behind. Adam Zuderhaven's number 7. He's got a goal here in the first quarter. 4-3 Virginia as we approach the 1-minute mark.
It's been a couple of minutes since Delaware has had an extended possession. So we'll see how aggressive they are here at attacking the goal. They're going to go right away.
Sean Calabrese looks for the right-hand shot, doesn't have the angle. Slips down, keeps the ball.
Delaware right now in a 1-3-2 with 3 guys just picking and repicking, scissor cutting on the crease, trying to create an opening while at the same time staying out of the way of Zuderhavens as Ricky Smith is just working over the senior out of Corning, New York.
Here comes Kaminsky, trying to get a step to the right side. Trying it left, coming back right, shooting, scoring, tying the game at 4. Good effort by Kevin Kaminsky.
Great shot by Kaminsky, who not only crosses up the long pole defender with a series of moves and great footwork, but he also handcuffs Kip Turner, as Turner looks like he was confused as to whether or not to step to the ball. Here you see the footwork, crosses up Timms, he slips, and he puts a shot where Turner either has to step with his body or get his stick over. He does neither, and that's great placement by Kevin Kaminsky, his 16th goal of the year, first this afternoon.
Freshman out of Wallingford, Pennsylvania. We're into the closing 23 seconds of the first quarter. Virginia has it. With it is the face-off man, Adam Fasnacht. Trailing check attempt, unsuccessful. Down goes the Virginia player. We're down to 10 seconds to go. And Delaware comes away with it. Do they have time to score? They whip it to the midfield area. 33 is Turner. He feeds it in close. Delaware looks for the lead. They will not get a shot away. And time has run out in the first quarter. What an opening 15 minutes here in Charlottesville. Our score, the Fighting Blue Hens of Delaware 4, and the defending national champion Virginia Cavaliers 4. The winner of this game to face the winner of Maryland and UMBC. That's coming up after this one on ESPNU. Same folks involved. Adam Fasnacht and Alex Smith, the best in the country. He wins it, and here he comes. And it's saved by Turner. Smith paid the price after the shot as he was spilled.
Nice save by Turner. High to high, Smith off of the face-off. And here we see a score update from Chapel Hill, Dave. Navy up 4-3 after 1, so it looks like they've got a track meet in Chapel Hill, much like we do here in Charlottesville. Yeah,
we were there yesterday. Unfortunately, they could not play because of weather conditions, but we're certainly enjoying being here at Charlottesville. Dave Cohen along with Mark Dixon. Virginia and Delaware tied at 4. Virginia is in white, looking to jump in front here. And the shot is wide. Perhaps Scher got a piece of that. Virginia will keep it.
You're looking at this game, you start to think, can these teams withstand this pace? As we look at the stats for the first quarter, shots relatively even, face-offs almost 50-50. Delaware winning that ground ball battle, and I think that's really helped them jumpstart their offense and get some scoring opportunities.
Here's a hard bounce shot, and it's played nicely by Scher. He has been Tommy on the spot. He outlets it in transition. Here come the Blue Hens. They feed in close. Oh, he rolled it in with a backhand. What a shot. Curtis Dixon. And that was all made by the big stick that ran it upfield in transition after the save by Scher.
What a great job by Scher as he makes the initial save. It's tough on grass. He actually adjusted his body and his stick to make that save. It was a nasty worm burner. Here we see Brett Manny then coming up, leading the break. Gets it inside to Curtis Dixon, and Dixon knows if he turns around right-handed, he's going to go right into the check of Ken Clausen. So he just drops his stick and rolls it past Kip Turner. Eyes in the back of his head, Curtis Dixon, as he gets the score.
This time the face-off won for the moment by Virginia, then knocked free. Alex Smith, who's an excellent ground ball man, leads the country in ground balls as well as face-offs. Delaware has it. Stolen away on the outlet pass. Now here comes Smith, the big stick. laying it off. Here's a shot and a save again by Tommy Scher.
Scher is seeing the ball extremely well. He's reacting very aggressively, and look at his outlet passes. They're right on the money.
How about the transition? Winding up, faking. Now coming in. A diving shot and a score. What a goal again by Dixon.
Are you kidding me?
How did he keep his balance on that? He knew he was going to stumble, and he found another gear.
Well, Michael Watson and Doug Knight, Michael Watson in particular, made a living of going airborne here at Klockner back in the late 90s. And here we see Dixon fakes the shot. His defender ducks, gets a check in, and Dixon has enough strength as he's parallel to the ground. He shot this while he's in the air. Look at it. He's in the air and shoots it. Beautiful placement, has just enough mustard on it to beat Kip Turner offside. Curtis Dixon having an outstanding first half thus far for the Blue Hens.
And the streaks continue. As we said, Virginia got the first two, Delaware the next three, then Virginia had two, and now Delaware's had 3 goals. Unanswered, the biggest lead of the game for Delaware at 6-4. Delaware has possession after a violation. They look to go up by 3 now. Giordano to Adam Zuderhavens. Delaware playing with confidence. You could sense it in that first quarter.
Bob Schillinglaw said during the week their backs have been to the wall for a number of games now, so this is nothing different from them, and they realize they're the underdog, but they feel like they're a talented bunch that can make some things happen.
Speedy Sean Calabrese still has the ball. Now they pack it in front. He feeds up top. Shot Kaminsky, saved by Turner.
Big stop for the senior. Saw that one all the way and gobbles it up. And here comes a transition for the Cavaliers. This thing has been end-to-end all afternoon.
Giannoni feeding Rubior. Rubior has had maybe 1 shot, if any.
He's been limited in his touches and his looks. Again, he's still hobbled by that knee injury somewhat, so his explosiveness, he's almost 100%, but all the explosiveness we've seen during the season has not been on display thus far in the first half.
George Ugly has it now for Virginia. Ugly, a freshman out of Chevy Chase, Maryland. Here's Rubior again. He beats his man but draws the double team. Look how Delaware slid over and took away the angle. And that shot is wide. Backed up by Virginia, they'll keep it.
You can definitely see Delaware's defensive strategy. Quick slides on Rubior.
Nice goal on the individual effort by number 9, Dan Gladding, his 3rd goal of the game. And he cuts the Delaware margin to 1 at 6-5.
We talked about it earlier, and this is the 3rd goal of the afternoon for Danny Gladding from virtually the same move. He loves to get you started on the restart. Straight bull dodge, speed right past his defender. Delaware has been sliding early to Rubior. They may have to make an adjustment and start sliding much earlier to Danny Gladding as he's torched them for 3 scores here in the first half.
And yes, it's confirmed Rubior has had only 1 shot, and we're a minute into the second quarter, 3 minutes into the second quarter. Delaware has control after the faceoff. Manny gets it to Dixon. He's been the star for the last couple of goals. Tries to split the D. He does. And that ball was checked out of his stick from behind. Rolled weakly into Turner's stick, and now in transition, here come the Cavaliers.
Good patience by Timms with the trail check. And a flag is down as Delaware steps off sides on the tenacious ride. Number 4, Giordano. So now Delaware will play defense with 7 defenders taking advantage. They already got a flag down. They can't get any worse unless they slash or another type of personal foul.
Virginia has it. They'll keep possession until we get the whistle, and now the offsides violation will be assessed.
And just a Giordano that time trying to make a play through that last check-in. And what you normally teach your attackmen, if you see the guy's numbers and you really don't have a chance to get him from the side or make a clean check on his stick, just let him go. Because you're either going to end up slashing him in the back or going off sides with your momentum carrying you over midfield due to the check. That's what happened to Giordano. Possession and a man-up opportunity now for Virginia.
And the Cavaliers now look for the equalizer. They trail at 6-5. Again, Rubior, who has the knee brace on his right knee, has had only 1 shot. He is the All-American, the Tuorton Trophy nominee. Nice play out at the defense by Calabrese. And he feeds it up ahead. The big sticks doing the job. They may have a scoring opportunity in the shorthanded situation, and instead it's Virginia coming back, but we'll get a whistle.
Timeout called by Delaware right before the Wahoos made a Drew Turner sandwich out of number 33 for the Blue Hens. So a heady timeout call for Bill Schillinglaw, saving possession for his team.
So we've got 10:22 to play here in the second quarter, and it's Delaware leading Virginia 6-5 in this opening round game.
Georgetown and Hopkins overtime wins against Notre Dame and Princeton. And of course, Albany and Cornell just really getting things done against Loyola and Towson, making their stamp and solidifying a spot in the quarters next weekend up at Princeton on ESPNU.
Vincent Giordano exchanging with Adam Zuderhavens, who fakes the pass. Now he gets it back to Giordano. Up top they come, and Jordan Hall took his eyes off of it and lost it. The battle is on at midfield. Hall goes across to play it. Run down for the moment by Rubior. Ladding is trying to get possession. He lost sight of it. He was checked off the play. And Delaware's intensity and tenacity on those ground balls really helping them out in this contest. Scheer is out.
This game has been physical. It's been aggressive. It's had a number of very hard, legitimate, clean lacrosse hits. Delaware is on fire right now emotionally. And Virginia has had a difficult time matching the intensity of the Blue Hounds thus far.
Again, it's Giordano. He'll settle down the team for the moment. Jordan Hall sends it back outside to Deckelbaum. And on the far side was J.J. Moran. Now Dixon, the offensive star so far. This is where Delaware again is changing the tempo and the pace. Now they go. Giordano lost the handle. Down to play it is Barrow. And here again is the ground ball action by Delaware.
Nice over the head check by
getting it to Deckelbaum.
Nice over the head check by Ricky Smith, but again, Delaware all over the GBs, picking it off with this grass surface here at Klockner Stadium.
Zuderhavens off a tough angle, deflected out there. And it's another ground ball. Dixon has it. Dixon gives it up. Well, he is resourceful, isn't he?
Curtis Dixon is a tough player, holding on to that ball under the intense pressure of Clausen and Kelly. And now Virginia's able to get it out of his stick, pick up the ground ball.
Smith gives it to Barrow. Barrow will take a couple of steps. Smith goes down. We have a delayed call coming up. Barrow works for the left-handed shot, and it's wide. And now we'll get the call. It'll go against Delaware.
It's going to be an illegal body check against Delaware as Ricky Smith brought that ball across midfield, gave it up, and then was drilled up high in the helmet area after he gave it up. So Virginia will have another extra man opportunity here. And we talk about the intensity and the aggressiveness of Delaware. You have to learn how to channel it. And that time, the Delaware defender was just a little too ambitious as we look at Virginia. 32% for the season, but 0 for 2 today.
Extra man opportunities. Virginia looks to tie. Nearing the midway point of the second quarter. Rubior has only one shot. Here comes Virginia going counterclockwise for the moment. And Rubior has it in his stick, and he deals it back outside to Thompson. Lost ball by Billings, taken away by Delaware. On the move with it is Patrick Beal. Delaware using a lot of legs in this game.
Mental mistake as Billings just took his eye off of the ball. Such a fundamental, basic principle, but a lot of players are guilty of just not following into their stick. Turn over to Delaware.
Excuse me, Mark. Manny comes on, number 13 for Delaware. They mishandle the ball offensively, but the ball's on the ground, and Delaware's been so good. And once again, the Blue Hens are in there battling, the fighting Blue Hens. And we get a whistle to stop play.
Loose ball push as Ricky Smith pleads his case to the official, asking for a push with possession.
Carroll now headmans Thompson coming on the field. Started his dodge, but couldn't go anywhere. Rubior has it. Under 7 minutes to go, Delaware leading at 6-5. We're in the second quarter.
The pace over the last couple of minutes has settled down somewhat.
Thompson had the first goal of the game for Virginia.
He likes this matchup against Manny. He'll look to take him behind and invert and try to beat him off the dodge, but also have a cutter going to the pipes.
It's played man for man by Manny. Didn't get any help that time. Rubier is coming back to set the pick. Now they deal it up top to Carroll. He's got some shooting room for the moment. Again, it's Ben Rubier. Little hesitation. Now he goes to the right hand. He is left-handed. Trying to work that way, and Billings lost the handle.
I tell you, that's the second or third time this game, second time in a row that Billings has misjudged the handle on an exchange pass.
And he goes down, he slips, he gets up. Just gets it to, well, intended for Gladding, and he misplayed it at the back line. Kind of an unforced error, but Delaware's dictating the tempo.
They really are, and both defenses have been very aggressive, straight up man-to-man for both of these defenses thus far in the game. Virginia sloughing off a little bit more than Delaware is, but Delaware is just pushing the perimeter, laying extreme checks. There we see the turnovers, 12 for Delaware and 10 for Virginia. But you're right, Dave, they are dictating the tempo right now in this contest.
They even look like they're not afraid to take a penalty just to lay a little lumber.
Yeah, you know, they're not going to back down. I mean, I'm sure Delaware, they've got the attitude. Everybody in the world expects us to lose this game. We've got nothing to lose here this afternoon against the Blue Hens.
Oh, he didn't know whether to pass or shoot, and he just lost the handle on that. Losing it there was Chris Hitchborn, who was in the game for the first time.
Well, there you see, it was an I beg your pardon kind of move.
Will Barrow, maybe the fastest player in college lacrosse, has the ball now. He deals it to Rubier.
Looks like Virginia right now saying settle it down, let's get our matchups, let's get our proper personnel. There we see Barrow. Huge goal against Hopkins earlier this year as a flags down.
A couple of flags down and a shot that's wide off the stick of Barrow.
We've got an illegal procedure call against Delaware here. Referee Hans Wittelsberger giving the signal to the bench. Technical foul, 30 seconds. I think Delaware may have had too many men on the field at some point. That prompted the flag to come down. There we see a back check, two back checks against Will Barrow, but that was after the flag had come down to signify the illegal procedure call against the Delaware Blue Hens.
And really, one of the stories of this game continues to be Ben Rubier not being a factor offensively. Again, Virginia looks to tie.
They're in that 2-3-1, quick ball movement, quick cuts. They just basically rotate over and fill to always stay in that 2-3-1, but a lot of motion and high crease.
That would have been wide, I believe. And it ricocheted back across the line like an offensive rebound. Virginia keeps possession.
Here we see the shot from Rubier.
Another ball misplayed out at the point as we came back.
Rubier's shot hitting off the iron, unlucky for him.
And that shot is wide. Now Virginia off the mark on their shooting.
I tell you what, Cher has made a couple of saves of the real nice variety, and he might have the Virginia shooters thinking.
Not that time, however. The equalizer. It is goal number 3 of the game for Danny Gladding, an all-ACC player, sophomore from Bethesda, Maryland. He had only, well, 1 goal in the 2 games prior to this, but he's got 3 today.
Where we see Gladding, he's had 3 from the left-hand side. Here he goes right, and just a sprint dodge, bulls his way past the defenders, and dunks it by Tommy Cher. Danny Gladding, his 31st of the season, his 4th today. He's come off the schneid in a big way for this Virginia offense.
Alex Smith has won all 4 faceoffs this quarter, and that one will go to Delaware on the violation.
So Virginia gets called for procedure, and the transition here.
And the shot, and that one's wide. Taken there by number 28, J.J. Moran.
Moran, Smith hustled to the box and was able to get off the field quicker than Fosnock was, and that prompted the transition right there as J.J. Moran had an opportunity right there on that 5-on-4 break.
Dixon has it now sends to Zuderhavens. Zuderhavens goes to Giordano. Deckelbaum way outside. Now they go to Jordan Hall. Man from Surrey, British Columbia, gave it to Deckelbaum. He took his eyes off it. He gets it back. Will he shoot it? He does. And backed up there by Zuderhavens.
Deckelbaum and Hall, both first-team All-CAA in 2007. They've been quiet here today, but the attack for Delaware really getting the job done.
Dixon missing from in close. It's going to be run down there by Matt Kelly. Kelly being harassed from behind by Zuderhavens. Double with Dixon. The ball's on the ground. Giannone has it.
Virginia just being hounded all over the field, but a great ground ball by the Cavaliers, as the Dom Starcher will take a timeout to talk about things.
3:20 to go in the second quarter, all tied at 6. So it's been a game of spurts. The last 2 goals by Virginia's Danny Gladding, and this game is 6-6 with 3:20 to go in the first half. 3 titles in 5 years under head coach Dom Starcher.
Yeah, Dom Starcher just had such a wonderful career here. 271 career wins between Brown University and the University of Virginia, 3rd among active D1 coaches. And not to look too far ahead, Dave, because 2007, this is the greatest time of year for college lacrosse, but Dom Starcher has a recruiting class coming in next year that is second to none, highlighted by a duo from Huntington, New York, the Bratton brothers. So they might make you forget about your Syracuse boys, the Gates. We'll have to wait and see.
A lot of brother acts in this sport of lacrosse. Dom Starcher, by the way, was a college roommate of Ben Rubier's father at Brown.
Virginia out of the timeout, the 2-3-1, working that ball around with a very high crease. And Danny Gladding has just feasted all over Delaware so far from with those moves from behind.
Now they swing it to Rubier, and his shot is played by Scher, who saw that one all the way.
Delaware that time, Dave, slipped into a little bit of a zone, packed it in with Tommy Scher. So obviously they have confidence in their netminder. He's played a solid first half with several very nice saves. They dared Virginia to shoot it from the outside. Virginia took the dare.
Tommy Scher coming off a career-high 17 saves in the Colonial Championship, and the go-ahead goal right there for Delaware, and it's Rob Smith. How about that?
Rob Smith, the transfer from Georgetown, has really done a spectacular job coming to the University of Delaware and really solidifying this defense. Look at the face dodge and look at the strength and speed of Smith. Every defenseman's dream. You come in with a full head of steam, put that bounce shot past the goalie and find the back of the net. Rob Smith, great end-to-end action, his 5th goal of the season off of the save, and again, a nice outlet pass by Tommy Scher.
And again, Smith wins the faceoff. Can they strike again quickly? They get it even with a crease. Rob Smith, by the way, you mentioned a transfer from Georgetown, a 5th-year graduate student, so under the current NCAA rules, allowed to transfer and play immediately. And he just paid big dividends for Delaware.
The lacrosse is a lot different than college basketball and football. Oftentimes when you have these transfer situations, the coach from the school where the scholar athlete is coming from, the student athlete is coming from, will always sign that waiver and not force a player to sit out a year. So there you see those quick turnarounds for these athletes.
Delaware looking to up their lead to 2 again. Big check. No flag flying. 1.5 to go. Good job by Deckelbaum as he reached out to haul in the pass from Giordano. Up top now, it's Jordan Hall. Zuderhavens on the far side. He's number 7. Virginia sagging back. Here's the dodge fake. Zuderhavens gets it to Dixon. He's got a couple of sensational goals. Now Deckelbaum and Zuderhavens.
Delaware almost looking like they want to play for the last shot here. We'll see if the referees force them to keep it in with the stall. We haven't had a need for that thus far in the contest, but the refs are looking at each other now.
Zuderhavens takes one on the head before he gets the shot away, and the laundry flies.
Looks like he's going to draw a holding foul against the Virginia defense. Virginia has been very quick all afternoon to go for those over-the-head checks, and Zuderhavens that time ducks underneath and is able to draw the foul.
This may be the first extra man opportunity for Delaware coming up.
There we see Ricky Smith punches the sky over the head, but Zuderhavens ducks it, and Ricky Smith corrals him up around the neck area. So there's the holding foul, and Delaware with another opportunity here to score another goal.
Number 3, Bo Davis has come on for the first time. He's in the extra man offense. Delaware almost mishandled it. Also in there, 42 is DJ Whitlake. This is Davis.
Key here not to force anything if you're Delaware.
Davis cranks it up, but he doesn't shoot it.
Even if they can't score in 30 seconds, they'll have another 20 before the half ends.
Davis again, Mark. And he fires it, and that's going to go back to Virginia. There was no backup.
Just what I was talking about. You don't need to force that. As number 24 for Delaware, Nick Lamonto, was coming above goal line extended. He sacrifices the backup. Turner hustles. Virginia ball.
Good pressure being applied by Hall and Zuderhavens. And with 16 seconds to go, Delaware's going to get it back.
It's a withholding call against Max Pomper. He chested it. Possession of Delaware.
Zuderhavens cranks. And that one is backed up with 11 seconds to go. Delaware will have another chance. Quickly, they put it in play. Out it goes to Manny. Manny looks for the right-hand shot. It's wide. And again, Delaware keeps it. Under 5.
Living dangerously with no backup there.
That shot is deflected. It'll roll out of bounds, and time has run out. Coming up on the Warrior Lacrosse Halftime Report, we'll have a feature on the Tewaaraton Trophy finalists. We'll look at the brackets and break them down, and we'll have first half highlights and statistics. And there are a whole lot of highlights that you'll enjoy seeing again. So we've played 2 quarters here in Charlottesville, Virginia. Sensational lacrosse in the opening round. It's the Delaware Fightin' Blue Hens 7, the Cavaliers of Virginia 6. We'll be returning to Charlottesville, Virginia right after these words here on ESPNU. Its absolute finest. Teamwork, but terrific individual play as well.
I mean, wow is the only word I can use really to describe the first half. Up and down, fast pace, and right now, Delaware is beating Virginia at their own game.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights in the first half. Let's begin in the first quarter.
Danny Gladding gets things rolling, just a straight bull dodge from behind, left-handed. Virginia gets the early lead.
In fact, Virginia had a 2-0 lead. They looked like they were on their way, but Delaware turned things around.
Yeah, good defense by Ken Clauser, but Giordano gets a little bit of space and solves Kip Turner. And then we see another goal here by Delaware off the great dodge from up top. The second midfield unit contributing heavily for the Blue Hens.
Been a game of spurts.
And here we see Curtis Dixon. Look at the move and look at him airborne. Solves Kip Turner, slides it by him, and Delaware really gaining a lot of confidence in the second quarter. And here's where Delaware needs to make the big adjustment. Who can stop Danny Gladding for the Blue Hen defense?
Well, obviously, so far, Rubier has been held in check, but Gladding has more than picked up the slack.
Absolutely, and here we see the stats for the first half. Shots almost dead even. Face-offs, Delaware dominating and also winning the ground ball battle. They're only winning the ground ball battle by 3, but when you look at the score, and it's only a 1-goal game, they are huge. But look at the man-ups. Virginia 0 for 4. You have to cash in. 30% is typically a successful rate. They are 0% so far here today. They're going to have to take advantage of some of those Delaware penalties in order to advance to the quarterfinals in Annapolis next weekend.
Danny Gladding, by the way, has hit all 4 of his shots. Rubier is 0 for 3. So that's the highlights and the statistical story of the first half. Delaware clinging to a 1-goal lead on the road here at Virginia. The Hens of Delaware have come with game today to Charlottesville, Virginia. Down 2-0. They rallied to take a lead at 6-4 after the game was tied at 6. They've regained the lead. That's where we are now, 7-6. And 2 of the key players we focused on before the game, Alex Smith doing his job, but Rubier has been held scoreless.
Yeah, Alex Smith has done a great job at the face-off square. Rubier, the Tewaaraton finalist, yet to get on the score sheet. We'll see how the second half plays out here in Charlottesville.
Virginia's Fosnock wins the face-off, and here come the Cavaliers. They need 1 to tie.
You talk to college coaches, as here's a shot by Thompson.
Thompson ties it up. Just like that, we have a tie game.
What I was about to say, Dave, is the first 3-4 minutes of a third quarter, especially in a game like this, is so indicative of who's going to win this ball game. And Virginia, you couldn't have asked for any better start. Thompson with just a sprint dodge, comes back, rocker step. His defender falls down, plants his feet, time and room, and just like he started the game, the senior out of Northport, New York, starts the third quarter this way. We've seen a lot of slippage happening out there in this contest. The field's not wet, the grass is extremely short, and there's another instance of it right there as Thompson gets his second of the afternoon.
Now the face, Alex Smith, leaves way for Jordan Hall. It's won by Delaware. Ball goes down. Took a good check, and now Virginia in transition, looking to regain the lead. We're tied at 7. Opening minute of the second half.
2 very different huddles coming out here for the third quarter.
Billings to Rubier if he gets hot.
Delaware, a lot of chest bumping, a lot of jumping up and down, high fives, a lot of energy. Virginia just very cerebral, very subdued, just talking about things. We've been here before.
Gladding has not missed a shot. He's 4 for 4. Rubio's shot is wide. Wonder if he's getting a little frustrated with his shooting.
Well, credit Rob Smith. That time he was on the gloves. Rubio not the best angle, but Smith has been shadowing Rubio all day, and the fifth-year senior has a goal for it as well.
Gladding gives it up outside. Thompson now to Rubio. Started his move.